Fabrizio Romano dropped a bombshell. Newcastle already have a possible replacement for Alexander Isak, and it's a big name. But hold on, because that's our final story of the day, and you'll want to stay until the end so you don't miss a single detail of this drama. I'm Rodrigo, and you're watching Newcastle Mania, the channel made by a fan, for fans who love Newcastle United. You blinked, and Newcastle hit the headlines everywhere. Today we're talking about a massive fine, some harsh criticism from a former England player, and of course, the big update that could change our attack completely. So stick around. The main story comes last, but before that, we've got two huge updates you need to hear. And listen, the other day, Chelsea fans were commenting that this channel doesn't grow because our fan base is too small. Let's show them who the real black and white army is. If you love Newcastle and want to see this club fly even higher, hit that subscribe button right now. It costs nothing, but it makes all the difference. Let's shut them up together. News 1. Isak's fine. Let's start with a story that's on fire. Alexander Isak could be fined by Newcastle United, and this drama just keeps getting heavier. The Swedish striker, who not long ago was being treated like a true hero by the fans, has now become the target of criticism and even anger. Why? Because it's pushing hard to force a move to Liverpool. It's a delicate situation that affects not just the team, but also the atmosphere behind the scenes and the patience of the fans. Look at what's happening. Since May, Isak hasn't stepped on the pitch in a Newcastle shirt. He skipped the entire preseason, his training separately from the group, and has left Eddie Howe completely stuck. Howe has even spoken openly about it. He said he'd love to have Isak training and playing with the team, but that, the way things stand, it's just not possible. And that's not all. The Daily Mail have already made it clear, if Isak keeps up with this drop, if he misses official matches and refuses to fulfill his duties, the fine is going to be massive. We're talking millions of pounds in penalties, something that could create even more tension inside the club. Think about it, the main striker of the team, completely out of action. Fans are getting more and more frustrated, and the squad has no idea what's going to happen next. This doesn't just affect what happens on the pitch, it crushes a team's morale. At the start of a new season, when confidence and togetherness should be at their highest, all we have is doubt and uncertainty. Eddie Howe even vented recently, saying, "It's not ideal, it's been a huge challenge for US." And that sentence alone shows you the size of the problem. The manager needs quick answers, but right now it looks like this drama is going to drag on. So, right at the very start of the season, Newcastle are already dealing with a crisis that could completely change the future of the club, and it all revolves around Isak, the very player who was supposed to be our biggest attacking reference. News 2, Dixon blasts Newcastle. And if the fans were already frustrated with everything happening on the pitch, things got even heavier off it. And this time the criticism came from someone who knows the game inside out. Former defender and now pundit Dixon didn't hold back. He ripped into Newcastle's handling of the Isak situation, calling the whole thing an absolute disaster. According to Dixon, the club has practically wasted the entire summer dealing with this never-ending problem. While direct rivals were strengthening their squads, testing new formations, and preparing properly for the new season, Newcastle was stuck in the middle of a soap opera that just wouldn't end. For him, this kind of wasted time is unacceptable for a team that wants to fight with the giants of the Premier League. But Dixon didn't stop there. He stressed that a club the size of Newcastle, with the structure it now has, with the passionate support that fills St. James Park, and with a huge investment of recent years, simply cannot afford to throw away precious months in the middle of so much uncertainty. In his words, every single week lost to the Isak drama is a week where the team failed to evolve, failed to train in peace, and failed to plan the future with clarity. From Dixon's point of view, the responsibility on Alexander Isak's shoulders goes way beyond training sessions or scoring goals. A striker of his level carries the duty of representing not just his teammates, but also the fans, the city, and Newcastle United as a whole. And in Dixon's view, the Swede has just thrown it all away, giving the impression that he abandoned the ship at one of the most crucial moments in the club's recent journey. And here's the part that really made supporters stop and think. Dixon admitted that Isak has incredible talent, but he insisted that talent without commitment cannot keep an elite team going. He said he's seen situations like this before in his career, and almost always, when one key player loses focus, the entire dressing room pays a price. It's like the squad is left hanging, not knowing if they can really count on their star man or not. Even with such heavy criticism, Lee Dixon still made sure to praise Eddie Howe. The former defender highlighted the manager's efforts to keep the group together, to shield the players from external pressure, and still prepare the squad for the start of the season. But he was crystal clear. No matter how hard Howe tries, the crisis around Isaac has already turned the atmosphere into one big mess. And what makes this hit even harder is who the words are coming from. Lee Dixon is not just any pundit. He's been inside top-level dressing rooms. He's lived the day-to-day pressure of the Premier League as a player. He's dealt with tough decisions, and he knows better than most how badly a crisis can eat away at a team's confidence. So when someone with that kind of background speaks out, it doesn't sound like just an opinion. It sounds like a warning. And that's why Dixon's words sting so much. He speaks with the authority of someone who truly knows what it feels like to be out there on the pitch, wearing a heavy shirt, under the demands of a passionate fan base. For Newcastle supporters, hearing someone with his experience label the whole situation an absolute disaster isn't just uncomfortable. It's almost like a wake-up call, a sign that if nothing changes soon, the consequences could be even worse than they already look today. News 3. Fabrizio Romano's bombshell. Here we are, folks, with the biggest headline of the day, the one that could completely change the future of Newcastle United. Who will replace Alexander Isak if his transfer to Liverpool really goes through? And listen to this, my friends. Fabrizio Romano, yes, the #1 journalist when it comes to transfer news, has just dropped the bomb. The name that has hit Newcastle's radar in a big way is none other than Nicholas Jackson, the Chelsea striker. But hold on, because this story is packed with twists and turns. First of all, it's not just Newcastle who are interested. AC Milan are also keeping an eye on Jackson, but the Italians have already made it clear they won't pay the £69 million Chelsea asking for. That could open the door for the Magpies to swoop in and grab the chance. According to Romano, Chelsea are open to negotiations. The club knows Jackson's time at Stamford Bridge hasn't exactly been a huge success, and a fresh start might be best for everyone. The player himself isn't against the idea either. He knows he hasn't fully nailed down his place at Chelsea, and at Newcastle, he'd have the chance to be a real star. Now here's the big question. Will Newcastle be brave enough to take the final step and put an official offer on the table? Inside the boardroom, opinions are split. Some directors believe Jackson is a gamble because he hasn't fully proved himself in the Premier League yet. But others see him as young, strong, quick, and with the potential to become a key figure in the attack. And what's even more interesting is this. Just a few months ago, Nicholas Jackson wasn't even on the club's radar. His name was almost ruled out completely. But everything changed when Isaac started showing clear signs of unhappiness, even refusing to play in friendlies. That behavior set alarm bells ringing at Newcastle, and suddenly, finding a replacement became the top priority. If Liverpool do end up signing Isaac, Newcastle will have to react fast. And in that scenario, Jackson stands out as one of the most realistic options, both because Chelsea's price could be negotiated down and because his profile ticks a lot of boxes for Eddie Howe: pace, mobility, and the ability to decide big matches. So, Toon Army, get ready. If Alexander Isak really does say goodbye, don't be surprised if, in the next few days, Nicholas Jackson walks through the doors of St. James Park as Newcastle United's brand new #9. Closing. That's it. Family. First story, Isaac could be fined. Second, Lee Dixon absolutely blasted the way Newcastle are handling things. And finally, Fabrizio Romano has left us with a bombshell possibility of Nicholas Jackson becoming our new #9. Now I want to hear from you. If you were sitting in the director's chair, what would you do? Would you hold on to Isaac at all costs, even with all this drama and pressure? Or would you go straight in for Jackson to sort out the attack once and for all? I really want to read your thoughts, because every fan sees the situation differently, and that discussion only makes our love for this club even stronger. So drop your comments down below. I'm always keeping an eye on what you have to say. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. Together, we'll follow every single chapter of this story that's only just beginning. And trust me, this season promises drama, surprises, and hopefully some huge moments for our Newcastle. See you next time, family, and hoey the lads.